Attention passengers, this is your Captain Necrosama speaking, the one with the bunny mask, just in case you didn't know. You tuned into a new episode of Top Flight Reads, our weekly YouTube series where we review comics, graphic novels, manga, what we find on the internet. This week on Top Flight Reads, we're checking out Love Metal, a story by Jessica Howard. There will be a link in the description below to show where you can support the artist and read the series. All right, let's jump right into it with some introductions, starting with our co-pilot, Tiza.
Yeah, it's Tiza, the serious one. Co-signing on this piloting thing that we're doing on whatever day of the week this is, not exactly sure. It's early. I'm a creature of the night for this, because we're about to get down into the darkness with this one. So have a bright day, y'all. Make it feel welcome, flight attendants.
Yo, welcome to the flight this week. Hope you all will enjoy. We got a very rocking one for you today.
Hello and welcome to the flight. I'm your flight attendant, Emiel, and the snack of today is cookies shaped like guitars. I hope you have a wonderful flight. Let's get to it.
All right. So Stormrave's not here today. Stormrave has a bellyache because he had too much candy.
All right, passengers. Gonna strap yourselves in because we're gonna rise from the gates of the inferno. And I don't know, maybe we'll see the sun on the way up. Either way, strap yourselves in. We're about to take off into the sky. And now, for the summary of the story for the week.
Hello and welcome to the summary of Love Metal, Chapter 1. Now let's stage dive in. The music leads us to our MC, whose earbuds are blasting music loud enough to turn heads. She seems to be enjoying herself jamming to her tunes. First up to the mic is our boy Stanley with a confession to the nicest girl in school, our MC Karin. His confession flopped, like his performance. I'd give that a solid 2 out of 10. I wanted to rate him higher, but he called himself a loser and he ran off crying. Demeaning yourself is a point deduction, in dating and on the stage. Karin finds confidence attractive, so most of the boys she knows aren't worth her time. Second up to the mic is Cindy. She wants Karin to listen to the music she likes, but Karin makes up an excuse because of a difference in taste. Cindy chatters away, but the MC couldn't care less. Time to activate the shoujo sparkles because this boy is perfect and can do no wrong. One wink alone causes the eyes of anyone who sees it to morph into the shape of hearts. But that's not all. He's good at sports, his studies, his face, he has money, and he's single! Cindy thinks she has a chance because he's searching for his soulmate. Karin thinks Cindy's delusional and that Brandon's a tool. But she won't say it to anyone's face. Karin doesn't like anything about her school, and she's glad she'll be done soon. Time to walk to the club to listen to her favorite band, Ravencross. If Karen had a crush on anyone, it'd be their lead singer, Dante. With colorful language, he introduces the band and explains that he wrote the song they're about to sing instead of the usual writer. It's different from what they normally do, but Karin loves it, and Ravencross, because of how much they love music. She hopes that one day she can live with the passion they do. Time to jump forward by 2 weeks. Walking with her eyes closed, our protagonist bumps into Brandon the Tool. He apologizes and asks her if she likes the band that she's listening to like he does, and she's shocked he would mention he likes them. Brandon then panics and runs away, leaving our main character, once again, not caring less. Later that night, it's almost time for the concert, but Karin sees Brandon and stalks him to the alley behind the music club. She thinks that Brandon's outfit makes him look like Dante. But then Brandon takes off a wig, and Karin realizes he is Dante. This causes her to become very upset after she took a few photos, because she had a crush on Dante, but Brandon is gross and a tool. But Dante can't be gross or a tool, so she's at a loss. She then calls out to Dante and outs him as Brandon. Dante fakes ignorance, and Karin decides it's time for some classic blackmail. He tried to threaten her, but she threatened him. What will she have him do? Let's find out next time on Love Metal, Chapter 2. See you then.
Well, we have now hit 34,000 feet as we come off of that totally riveting summary given by the illustrious MEL. We have not hit the sunlight. We have clearly crossed over into the dank timeline. Either way, let's get into this deliberation.
All right, passengers. Voila. Let's hop into it. You already know our sections. Art, characters, story, and then that wondrous overall opinion thing. So, section 1, art. What everybody got to say about art?
Them chins, though. No, okay, I'm kidding.
I will talk about that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no, you're all right. Since you brought up the chins, basically, one, we're suffering a bit from same face syndrome because they're using a lot of the same face shape, and the chin, like their mouths open up into the elongated chin rather than the chin getting bigger when the mouths open. So that was kind of a shock for me. Like, even if you look at just the cover, like the mouth being open, like it's very much a choice. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yes.
But for me, I like the eyes for the characters. I like how the person does the eyes. But yeah, the chins. It's not for me. It's just the lower jaw in general, and the chins just look a little off for me. And the necks are long, and I know I draw long necks too, so I need to work on that myself. But those definitely stuck out to me. The necks and the jawline.
Oh, yeah, they definitely got them DBZ necks.
I will say that I am happy that the art is like pretty uniform with itself. It doesn't like degrade as you go. It stays pretty consistent. So just the faces were messing with me a bit, but overall I like the look.
Yeah.
It's stylized, and I like that.
They also really did a wonderful job toning and shading it too.
There's a lot of gray in here. I like gray in the series I read.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like the straight white and black ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's colorist.
Jeez,
Oh.
I'm gonna stay colorist.
Bruh.
I was gonna say, I really like that they added in like music notes, but they have their own specific bubbles. They're like very rock and like jagged and cool. So I liked that music notes have a bubble and a place in the musical story.
Yeah. I do like how they do sound effects in general.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now that you're all done feeding off of each other, wasn't really good. There wasn't a good place to jump in, but so in that order, I will +1 on the Kazuki Takahashi inspired chins a la Seto Kaiba, because you already know what I'm talking about.
I don't.
Yeah, you do.
What?
You know what Kaiba looks like.
That Kaiba's Quaiba.
Oh, I didn't watch Yu-Gi-Oh. I gotcha.
Like I said, you know what I'm talking about. I will +1 for that. I will also +1 for toning, which I would say was pretty decent, considering this was, first entry into the webcomic world. Sometimes the locations for shading seemed a bit weird because they kind of made the light source a little hard to discern. Okay. I'll just throw up the number at page 14, just the first panel for when we do this in the video, just to kind of accentuate that. And I guess another one to pick out regarding that topic, I'd have to say is, I know there was something else. Yeah. Also, a little tiny bit on 22, but most in general are complex, so I'm not too shocked at that. But I guess one new point to bring up regarding art was it just me, or did the actual irises of people's eyes look separate from how everything else is styled?
In what way?
Elaborate.
I'm trying to figure out how to explain it, because I feel like as if the actual irises and the people, that part of the inside of the eye seemed like it was taken from a different art style in general for me. It kind of didn't seem to fit with the rest of how people were designed, but that might just be a personal thing.
I can't answer this because I personally looked away from the eyes as much as I possibly could. Just only because of my personal preference, I just don't like the insanely huge eyes, which, obviously I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. I'm not saying that it's an ugly thing. I just don't like it.
The super anime, exaggerated eyes.
Yeah, I respect it. I see why people like it. I just personally don't. So I can't really answer that because I wasn't really paying attention to the eyes.
I think I can see what T-Bob means. okay, now that I look at it, as I scroll down, looking at the rest, it's like the eyes do seem extremely, lack of a better word, anime, while everything else seems more, what, I wouldn't say realistic, but realistic.
It's different.
Yeah. Okay.
I like the usage of toning though, and like the little background effects at times. I feel like that brought out the mood we're supposed to feel.
I think some eyes work better for different characters. And if you're looking at some of the characters, the eyes in certain panels will just look a bit off in like the way the face is because the eyes are sometimes so big, which might be giving you like an off feeling. That or they're like spaced pretty far, so you like want to pull them in and maybe up higher a bit, which might be the issue. That's what I was normally having sometimes with the main character.
Oh, that's not what I meant, but I don't disagree with what you're saying. Oh no, I'm talking about the actual irises, the the part inside the eyeball that shows you which way they're looking.
I
feel like that looks separate.
Their own, it kind of does, but I just thought that like that was their way of doing it. Like that was just like their style to like a thing, and I can't be mad at people for meshing styles, so that's why I just think sometimes the eyes work better for different characters depending. Also, sometimes her eyes are like in line with the bottom of her nose, which would bother me, but
it works for Cindy.
It does kind of for Cindy, but we don't see Cindy very much, so we don't get to look at her as much either.
Yeah. I see it. Speaking of which, what do y'all think about the hair? I like how they do hair for certain characters. Main character, I like when people show a little bit of even the lighting of the strands of the hair. It's not just outlines.
I really enjoyed the hair. I will definitely say that.
I love it when they hair texture like that. My favorite hair though was probably the band members in the series, like because it like you don't get to see it for long, but it's all like it's very detailed in a way that you're like not getting them mixed up, and it was just fun for me. But yeah, I love seeing the lighting and stuff. Mm-hmm. And those random strands that like flick out randomly, those are nice too. Nice touches.
Another thing I would like to point out, sometimes when the artist zooms out and shows, I guess, people, not even in the background, just zooms out and shows full-bodied people, they either seem a little chibi-ish or just static. Like, the page when Brandon first showed up, you see the way he's it's the second panel, just the way he's standing.
Yeah, he got that stance.
He has no fingers, no thumbs, no face anymore. The stands, it doesn't look like he's walking forward. It's like he's just standing there with his legs out.
There's no walk lines either, by the way.
I'm like,
well, yeah.
Or door closing things.
This is after he's closed the door and he's standing there looking all triumphant, trying to find the band leader or whatever.
And a couple pages later, the artist does it as well with Karen. Just when they're zoomed out, it seems a little awkward. And when the band leader, what was his name?
Dante Inferno.
Dante, yeah. When he's looking out at the crowd, he also seems a little, not chibi, just a little schmished. What are you going to say in response to that, Emil?
In the panel that you brought up first, he's got like log legs. And it's kind of like his body is a little bit too forward in places where like he's standing, but he's like leaning back with his shoulders and kind of his torso, but everything else is trying to be straight up in that panel. And I think it's like that, just like the proportions are a bit off and they're a little bit chunky in places that seem weird. And like they try to do the wrinkles in the pants and stuff, but that just kind of makes it worse in a way. And I think that was really it. I have to agree though with the zoom outs. It's just a little bit off.
I can see that.
The offness or the log leg thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Although one final comment on that, I would say the criticisms we brought up is more or less balanced out by what was done well to just sort of make a relatively solid first entry into this webcomic world. So,
does anyone have maybe a favorite or least favorite, just really notable page or panel art wise?
Oh. I would say the double spread where they first show Ravencross on stage.
Okay, first show on stage. What about it?
I like how they have the stage laid out and the individual band members. They look like they're having a good time. I can feel their energy.
For me, it may sound weird, but okay, so when Karen, right after she rejects dude, he runs off.
Stanley.
Jimmy.
Yeah.
Stanley.
Jimmy.
The page after that, okay, with the orchestra room, they showed the violin.
Yes.
I really like how they drew that violin. I don't know why it sticks out to me, but just it's really nice, right?
Yeah.
And the music note in the background is nice because it like helps show like they're tuning the violin really quick, so it's just a quick single note to make sure that it's in tune. So I really like that.
I think it is Cindy. Yeah, Cindy's playing it. Yeah.
No.
I like when they talk about Mr. Perfect. He's so cool. I don't like when Cindy's in like weird chibi mode. I didn't really like how they drew that. Chibis are pretty hit or miss for me though. But I like how they have like a little collage of him with like the things they're talking about. So it's like, he's got perfect grades and he's perfect hair and is like perfect like money, and like then the bubbles and the sparkles, because it takes this thing that is trying to be very not girly or shoujo like, and it then brings in the shoujo sparkles, and I can appreciate that it can still bring that in but not lose its like kind of toughness that the series is trying to give the main character, like adding this guy. I just like the background sparkles, man. So nice. And the bubbles.
Sparkles. Akashi.
I'm a big fan of the page where she's walking, I guess, to the concert. That's right after she leaves school and changes her clothes, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Big fan of pages that have like people walking through panels, like especially when they have the big environment over panels. I love that. I really love her outfit. Her outfit is legit. She got drip.
Yes,
she got drip.
And that one, that's a nice page too, with the words of the music too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I really like this page a lot.
Her pockets are small though.
Yeah.
In her jacket, so I'm surprised that her thing can fit in there without them falling, because it's all the way in her pocket.
Yep.
Maybe it's a one of those minis from years ago.
We probably saw it. I don't
Shuffle. I think
the shuffle.
Oh, it is
No.
a mini. You guys are right. It is pretty small.
Yeah, on page 18.
Yeah, sorry about that. I was like,
it's a back
small
minute shuffle.
Pockets are like the enemy of women, but they only give us small or no pockets.
Yeah.
What you do is you get rich, and then you make your own fashion line.
Well, it's because y'all got purses, so it's like, you know.
No, they give you no pockets so that you buy purses, and I
know.
I hate it.
So without elaborate plan.
Without pockets, I still don't need any. I don't walk. I walk around without a wallet, and I tend to walk around without a phone too. So
that's true.
Well, that's just because you don't pay your bill.
No, I just don't see it useful. I don't know. I try to not to be on my phone too often. So that was the end of section 1 on art. Next section 2, characters.
This should be fun.
Let's start off with the main character herself, Karin.
Dario.
She confuses me a bit.
Elaborate.
It's part of the story part, but I won't get too much into it. Some of the choices she makes confuse me in a way that maybe just because she's like the type of main character that's like, I'm so much different than everybody else. I'm a loner and I'm cool. And a lot of people like loner characters because they like identify with that. And that's fine. Though I tend to try to make a bit of fun of it because it's really interesting that a lot of people identify with that character like being so different and like alone, when in fact a mass of people identifying with that is a bunch of people. But like she's talking about how cool she is, and like she's got like this split with her where she's like totally nice on the outside and just super sarcastic and kind of rude on the inside, which kind of made me feel bad for some of her friends because like some of these people are approaching her in like genuine ways and she's just not being genuine with them.
Two-Face.
Friends.
Yes, her single friend Cindy.
Friend.
Is that associate?
I think so because
Classmate.
Cindy, I would believe, thinks that they're friends. I don't I would think that she would think that they're friends because
Yeah, see, just because Cindy thinks that doesn't mean Carney actually thinks that.
I'm not saying that she has to, but I am saying that like you should at least like just kind of don't let like if you don't like her, don't talk to her. Like you can still be nice and not have to be like, you know, all up with everything. Like, but I just like I'm glad that, how do I explain it? Like, she just kind of confuses me, I guess, in the two-facedness because I'm like, why do you? Maybe if you opened up or talked to other people about some of the things you like, yeah, they're rich kids who don't get it, but like you can't even make friends in that group of people that you like go see this band with all the time. So it feels like Karen's pushing people away and then making weird choices in the end of the chapter, which we'll talk about later.
She reminds me of the main. I wouldn't say main character. Yeah, main character of 10 Things I Hate About You.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, she's like, I am going to be. I'm different because I want to be different. I'm just so tired of the norm. But at the same time, yeah, she thinks everyone's the same. She's not really trying to get to know anyone. So she just sees the surface level of everyone, I guess. That's why it took her until the end of the chapter to realize a single thing about Brandon. That was his name, right?
I believe so.
His government name, yes.
Brandon Day. For me, honestly, I like her. She may be a little two-faced. Or not really say two-faced. She wears a mask. Okay.
Yeah.
She's your Tina might hate me for saying this, but she's your Colin Kozuki. Okay.
Who's that?
From Kogi, yes.
Yeah.
Can you explain that one a bit? I feel like I know what you're going for, but
I'm
So
bad at remembering names.
Colin, just like Karen, they go to this school with all these rich people that act this way, but that's not who they act a certain way at school to fit in, but that's not the way they are outside because they don't want to draw attention to themselves.
Right.
She's not rich. She doesn't think she would fit in with all these people. They have different histories. So she's going to act a certain way at school so it doesn't cause her trouble.
I honestly forgot Colin didn't come from money.
Anyone else got anything for Karin?
Dario.
She's not, but so Tiza had me watch an episode of Daria to kind of show me how like Karin is supposed to be, I guess, but I didn't necessarily agree with her being Daria because I like Daria's very straightforward with her feelings. Like
No,
she is in a way in the episodes that I saw to where like it's different than like Karin. It's like it's different. Like Daria,
I don't think Daria does the hiding part. I think she's like the inner Karin, but she doesn't have the outside, the facade.
Yeah, like she's not like
not exactly.
Well, not exactly, but like it's to the point where like Karin will be like she'll like sugarcoat things. If Daria sugarcoats it, it sounds more sarcastic. And I don't think that Karin says it in a way that's sarcastic because like she does have this nicest girl in school thing going for her from what we know. And sarcasm normally doesn't win you that title.
That was the opinion of one camera geek. Also, I feel like you all aren't getting what I mean by this because you may not have seen the entirety of Daria the series, but that whole like standoffish thing she does is the same thing Karin does here. Only instead of being nice, she's just blunt with it.
Right.
That's not who Daria is as a person. That's to keep people away from her.
Yeah.
Much in the same way that Karin acts nice as a cover, but her inside is different than that.
But it doesn't keep people necessarily away.
No, I'm
It
not
just
saying
keeps
it
her
keeps
protected
away. I'm
from
talking.
them.
That's what I mean.
Okay.
They're
Sorry.
doing two different end results, but the purpose is the same. And also happen to have similar, well, at the very least, taste in people, which is not very many.
Mhm.
Although in Karin's case, it's because she thinks everyone at her school is, well, stupid, and also has bad taste in music, whereas Daria is more like people are just stupid. There's no additional things for that,
Like,
aside from the one person that she actually cares to talk to who isn't stupid.
like, they're all privileged. What the heck? What is in it for me for hanging out with these privileged, pompous people?
Which is pretty
Oh.
presumptuous considering what else plays out in this chapter, but we'll get to that.
Next character, let's go on to Happy Joy herself, Cindy.
Oh, really?
Oh, the Cindy was the he's so hot girl, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
He's so cool.
You know if he sees this.
I don't care. Look,
Look, this is already a top flight joke. You can't stop it.
I didn't like her only because she's your typical he's so hot type of girl. She would annoy the crap out of me, so I didn't like her. She's realistically written. I just don't like her.
Oh my god.
But kind of also didn't really enjoy the fact that literally she was only there to talk about how hot this guy is, because that's all she did.
She did that exposition,
Look,
telling us about this dude.
right, but we could know that without just having some random person. I'm here. Here he is, cute boy walking in. I'm gonna go say something to him, but you can't. Oh, that the man of my dreams. Like, oh no.
That's not all she did, though. She was also the gateway to show us that Karin doesn't care much for interacting with people on Facebook.
Yeah.
She also was here to show us that, like, she has a different music taste.
Also that.
Which we already knew, because she already said that she has a different music taste.
To
No.
She said it to.
She said it to Karin. She
Yeah,
said, "So
Karin-
you finally check out that
That's
Johnny
Johnny
Starr's
Starr
single,
single.
did ya?"
Right.
And she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I totally forgot." And she's like, "Oh, please, I wouldn't listen to that hack if he's the last musician alive."
But that's the only time you see her. She's her one. I guess maybe they only have one class together. Who knows?
They had like that one class, they had like,
And
this one conversation, and then that's it. I don't know. I didn't like her.
I didn't hate her. She was realistic enough because I've known a lot of people like Cindy. Like
She did her job. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess.
like I also thought it was like it was interesting to, I guess, like, see this girl and like her movements at least, because like she's like jumping all over the place. Like first she's like tuning the violin, and then she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna sit down next to you, besties," and then like she's like, with her, and then she like turns around in her chair and like sits kind of like Elle does, but backwards. And then she like jumps back up and she's yelling. And like, it'd be hilarious if Brandon could hear her the whole time. And then she's like doing the arm thing with all the hearts, and she's like, "Oh my gosh." And then like I've met girls this hyper. And like I've always been wondering in these conversations, like, can they not hear you? It's like, honestly, I just really like, in my headcanon, Brandon hears this and he's just like, another one, or like something like that. Like he just hears it and he's just like, yeah, it's working. It's heckin' working.
Honestly, she'd probably like it if he did hear her.
Yeah, because he's looking for the fated one, and she could be that one.
All right. Shall we move on to
Stanley?
I mean Jimmy.
Stanley.
Let's go with Stan the Man.
Jimmy.
Stanley.
Yeah, do we really? Okay, let's go along with this dude that showed up for 2 pages.
He's Jimmy from Ed, Edd n Eddy. There is no discussion.
He is not.
He is.
Yes, he is.
He is.
That boy Jimmy.
Look, if you don't have the poof, you can't be Jimmy. Jimmy's poof was so important.
Y'all said he Jimmy from who?
Ed,
Edd
Edd
n
n
Eddy.
Y'all
I disagree.
disrespectful.
I disagree to Jimmy.
To Jimmy.
Yeah.
Hey, wait
Did
a minute.
y'all ever see the Cash episode
Why
where
y'all
he
coming
scammed
to
Eddie?
Jimmy?
Jimmy was
Yeah.
trash.
He's done
Jimmy
it
was got that. He ain't got the brains to be Jimmy.
Jimmy's awesome and I love him.
Hey, look, Jimmy ain't start off that way. You got to remember.
But Stanley, however, I don't love as much.
So he early Jimmy. Okay, but
Yeah.
he started off with the touching his finger. He nervous. He confessed. Look, he had the confidence to
Dog.
confess.
He ain't even look her in the eye when he said it, dog. That's what's killing me.
No, see, here's
That's
my
probably
thing.
his first problem.
I would have felt bad for Stanley. I would have felt bad for him if he didn't immediately burst into tears and call himself a loser and
Hey,
say,
he's
"We're gonna
sensitive.
go
What's
out
wrong
and
with being
be like me."
sensitive?
No. And he's like screaming, running down the hall, bumping into other people. Like, no.
Why would a loser like me?
Look, I wouldn't have felt bad for him regardless because it ain't like he asked to go out with her and she was like, "Nah, you ugly, bro. You better get the heck out of my face." She just said, "No, I ain't into nobody right now." You know.
And that's valid, but like see, if like you could feel like you could have made him at least a little bit more. Like if he was just like, "Oh, okay, I respect your opinion," you'd be like, "Oh, well, like at least he's nice." But no, instead it's just like, "Ah!" and he runs. No.
Maybe this is character development. He's starting from nothing, and then by the end of the series, he have his own band.
Dude, that's my thing. I kind of
tossing metal diss tracks to Karen.
That'd be hilarious.
I totally think that Stanley's a throwaway character. I hope he's not.
Look, I'll remove every sin if we get a diss track from Stanley.
Bruh,
Oh,
look,
yes.
so Stanley, he goes through some emotions in these 2 pages, and I like how it's written. He's like, okay, he's nervous because he's asking this girl out that he really likes.
Well, he thought that she was nice, so he just didn't think that she would turn him down.
Hey,
She did.
I don't think that's the conclusion to make here.
All I'm saying is he's nervous and he's asking her out.
Yes.
Gets rejected. So he went from nervous to freaking shocked and heartbroken, like, what's the word? Rejected. To disappointed to straight crying. He got it. He just went through 4 emotions. And it's so real.
My thing though is he doesn't say that he likes her though. He just says that he's always thought she's the nicest girl in school. So
that was something he liked about her.
Was it? Or did he think that she wouldn't turn him down?
Look, I don't know.
Mel.
Obviously, he's not good at it. Okay,
Him asking her to go out is pretty much saying that I like you part. That's part of that.
Really? Because I've known people who just asked other people out because they A, didn't want to be alone, and B, didn't think they would be able to turn them down.
Look, that's a possibility. But look at
but it ain't a possibility for him. He likes
he's not like that.
He looked like he practices in the mirror last night.
Let me tell you something.
Last night or this morning?
Yes.
Okay.
My man's palms were sweaty. Knees
weak,
Let me tell you something. I know his whole arc. This dude's gonna drop a diss track because she gonna end up dating Brandon, right? And my man's gonna come out with a diss track. It's gonna be called "Hit 'Em Up."
Man, I hope not. I actually hope that like Stanley, like hecking, goes through all of this stuff in the background, and we just kind of get glimpses of his changes, and then he becomes her dream guy because she doesn't want to date the other guy because she hates him because he's Mr. Perfect, and then he is in fact the perfect guy for her. Like, no.
Hey. Don't like him because
I'm telling you.
No. He's gonna be the Eminem of metal. That's gonna be his character arc conclusion.
One Man Bandit.
He gonna take pictures of something with that camera.
Oh, repress! I'm telling you, I know the way he's gonna get revenge, but I can't talk about that right now.
Yes, you can.
He gonna do something.
He gonna have a list of 5 targets. He got that camera. He gonna get him in such places, and he gonna get that on film, dog.
Let's move on to Brandon. Okay. Brandon Markson.
Brandon actually kind of reminds me, like looking at him, he looks like in the first High School Musical movie, he kind of looks like Troy. And so the entire, like, because the way people like the way that people build up Zephron in that movie, they're like, look at him, he's great. By the way, Zephron lip synced the first movie, just so you know, was not him, but like everybody was like so into him, and they're like, he's so perfect. In fact, he's evil. Either way, Brandon, Troy Bolton, evil in secret, not because he likes metal, just because I want that plot twist.
Okay.
Because some people are like metal evil, and that's really dumb. But
top athlete,
rich,
grades, got
Top
his
money.
money.
Brings his own sparkly clouds with the hearts.
Top muscles.
Top muscles.
What's okay? Okay, so he's John Tucker must die. Okay.
He is the Chad, which is funny
No,
because
because
he's
there
not
is
the
a
Chad of his
Chad.
band.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was like, I can't believe you guys gave me the Karen and the Chad. And I can't believe there's actually a Karen and a Chad.
I should have. I'm mad that that didn't immediately hit me that once the second they started showing this dude and she's like, no, thank you. I don't want him. That somehow these two are gonna end up doing something together.
I kind of really hope they don't end up together though.
Not even end up together. Somehow they're gonna be involved in some way. Either they're gonna work together or be enemies, or either way, the story is gonna revolve around her and him.
Oh, that's for dang sure. Well, because they on the cover together. You knew that.
No, I know they are.
I didn't pay attention to the cover.
But I just kind of wish that it was like it was like kind of like a this is what you think's gonna happen and then a twist because it happens so often. I know it's not going to, but like also I can hold out hope.
The only thing I'm concerned with though is like why is it just a big secret that he is
that story?
This metal leader. Like is it like I don't understand. Like is it
his parents probably don't approve.
He
doesn't look good on college applications.
That probably would be it, but
yeah, man, metal is the music of the devil, don't you know? You
It
can't
is.
Understand the costume. If he's he's the best, he had good grades. He's the best athlete, obviously.
All the girls like him and think he likes pop.
Obviously, there's some type of high school basketball competition they need to win.
But he also needs to make it in time for the musical.
Exactly.
Man, no. I can't with y'all.
He looks like Troy, doesn't he? Though, like Troy manga.
Music career getting between him and the state championship.
Oh no.
And then they're just like, he looking for his soulmate. Where's Gabriella? And she's like not transferred to the school yet. Oh my gosh, isn't Karin a transfer? Holy heck.
No.
I'm just, as long as he doesn't turn into one of those, okay, not important to the story other than a goal or like an obstacle for the main character. Like as long as he has like a person, as long as he doesn't turn into a Disney prince, he's cool with me. And from the way the story's been going on, he doesn't seem like to be going down that route. The whole, okay, so this is, I have a feeling he's going to be a romantic interest.
Yeah.
Oh, I already knew that, yeah, for sure.
But if I read 3 chapters later and I look at his face and forget his name, I'm going to be upset. Like, okay, yeah, he's not the main character, but I feel like he's one of the important characters if they put so much information about him in the first chapter. If we forget, was it Steven?
What? Stanley. His name is Stanley.
Jimmy.
If we forget Stanley's name, it's okay. He's not one of the more important characters. Cindy, honestly, if they give her more screen time, we probably remember her name.
I was kind of sad that the all the band members are just kind of very forgettable in their names. The only one we remembered was Chad, but there's also David and John and Dante. Like you got Dante's name and you got Chad's name because being a Chad. John and David, man, I had to go look that up. I hope we get to remember the band's names since the band is so important to the series.
We'll probably remember Dante more than I'll probably remember Dante more than I remember as Brandon. So I definitely remember Dante. I did not remember Brandon until we started talking about it.
Because Dante has presence.
I remember Chad because he's got that headband, the crazy hair, and his name is Chad.
Let's move on to Dante.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that we didn't find out who Dante was in the first chapter.
Why are you saying this now?
Well, just in general.
What do you think about the character?
Dante is alright. He's a band leader. He's more important than the other members, obviously, by what everyone's telling us. He's apparently good at all the kinds of music, even if it's different, and he just loves music. He's that guy. He's made to be Karin's perfect guy. So the foil to the tool guy that she hates.
Dante is Dante. He seems like he's your typical cool guy. I don't have an issue with him.
Cool guy. He curses a lot. He uses profanity.
He does use a lot of profanity, but I'm used to that. in these stories that we've been reading. So at this point, I just accept it.
I thought it was just to kind of be a foil, like, because Brandon would never do that. He's too, like, perfect and shiny to ever do anything like that. And then Dante is supposed to be the opposite. Even, like, their hair is opposite, their clothing choices is opposite, music opposite. So I just thought that was part of the foil.
It is.
What was that?
I had a thing. All right, so Dante Ferro. I have one question for Dante. How he keep all that hair under that wig?
Hey, here's what you do. Here's what you do.
I wasn't going to comment on that
you
at all.
do. Here's what you do.
Teaser had to explain to me that the hair comes out. I thought that he put that on, and and Tiza had to explain to me because in the summary I was like super confused. I was like, how he fit that in there? And Tiza was like, what you mean? And I was like, why? Like, it's so confusing.
Here's what you do. You get you a sack. You get that Erykah Badu wrap. You tuck your hair into a bun. You put the bun in the sack. Then you put the little white boy wig on.
Look at it though. Go back to Brandon.
Hey. Have you not seen every anime ever where hair that goes down to your butt crack can somehow fit in one tiny bun?
Hot.
Same thing.
That must be in basketball. Like, because he's playing basketball. You want to ruffle your hair because you're sweaty. No ruffling that garbage. It's not.
You take a hard foul. Have you not seen Joanna, man?
I don't think she has.
What?
No, he dunked and then his wig fell off. But we can talk about that.
Like,
but
He probably not like one of those. I don't know if basketball has different, right? I don't.
It could be a physical sport.
Yeah.
But,
so
wait.
That's what I'm saying though. Like that being a wig. Like even after reading it, I didn't believe that was the wig. Like I just thought that the long hair was the wig, and that just the panels were a bit weird and showing it.
Originally, that's what I thought too.
It's on page 22, dog.
Yeah, but it didn't necessarily I was like it said what a wig, and I was like, oh, so he's hacking, but it was confusing to me. But then
the little
I guess
black strands are underneath the Badu wrap.
I don't know what page it is, but turn to the page where he takes the wig off.
That's where I was. I literally went to the top just because you're like, oh, turn to the page, and then I'm like, oh, frick, I gotta go back.
22.
You telling me that fit under that?
Yes.
Look, he is perfect and can do no wrong. And just so you know.
All right, passengers. I think we know characters. Let's move on to part 3. Story.
Considering the genre I think this falls into, talking about story is a little bit weird. Since this is kind of just, definitely falls into the school life / slice of life type thing. Okay. It's not really your usual fantasy or adventure type stuff that we've been reading for the most part. This is just pretty much, normal real life things. So it's just a bunch of character interactions with a little bit of identity revealing and then the blackmailing, which I must admit kind of came straight out of left field because we're just like, we got Karin, the metalhead, who can also be Karin, the super special, awesome, nice chick, who then we see, oh, this is what she does at night. She goes out to the dangerous side of not New York City, going into underground clubs, and then comes back to school, and then, bumps into the perfect boy, and then he just name drops Pantera. Fun fact, they did a song in the SpongeBob episode Pre-Hibernation Week. And then that just does not register for her at all. And all I can say is, if you ain't know that boy was hiding something right then and there, when he bumped into you in the hallway, saw that metal band and recognized it by name without you having to say a word, the fact that anything that took place after that was a surprise to her, dog, look, Karin, not for nothing, but you kind of dropped the ball with that one.
I don't know. With me,
he didn't look at her iPod. Sorry.
I thought you the second.
No, he recognized it too. That's the thing.
But he was like, you listen to Pantera.
2.
Oh yeah, the 2 part, but she wasn't listening to that.
But yeah, she did say 2.
Yeah, but she was there. She recognized it. That should have been some kind of red flag.
Well, he said too, so obviously that they listen
He
to the same
knows
kind of music.
somebody who does, or he does.
But what I'm gonna say is, okay, at that point when she dropped the iPod, I'm like, oh, you listen to this music too, huh? I was like, oh snap, okay, this the start of something new, you know, be soaring and flying. And then I was not expecting him to actually be the guy. Again, I didn't look at the cover too much, but when I looking at the cover once or twice, it was like, okay, maybe it's gonna be a love triangle type of thing, not a okay. So that and then it's like, okay, she likes Mr. Perfect. Actually, she doesn't like Mr. Perfect, but she likes the guy.
But she likes Mr. Perfect,
right?
So technically, it kind of is a love triangle.
She don't like Goku. She like Goku Black.
in a way.
Yeah.
No, see, here's what it is. Here's what it is.
Inuyasha though.
No.
I'm sorry. I
no,
might
no,
leave in the call.
No. Stop.
Why?
Stop. Don't do that.
He just said that name.
Goku Black?
Stop that.
I thought he
At least I
hit the
didn't.
button.
Okay, I'm sorry. She doesn't like Vegeta. She likes Baby Vegeta.
I'm
Man.
not. All right, that's
Baby
strike 2 for
Vegeta.
you. I'm about to. You know what? Forget it. I'm going rogue.
No, see, here's what it is.
Please
He's
don't.
so perfect at being not perfect that even Karen fell for him. That's the funny thing.
Oh my
Right. But
Sister
then like also they do put so perfect even Karen loves him. But like the thing is then she like proves herself that like she can't like she's like that she like proves that she does like him too much because she's like, oh, then he should be awesome by default. This is weird. You know what? I'm gonna just blackmail him to get closer to him. No.
Why did she go
Who
that?
says it's to get closer to him, though?
No, I'm not saying that, but like necessarily, but I'm like, dude, you could think about it that way. Like, she doesn't like this dude. She called him a tool. Like, why?
He look.
This is so
He
weird
just
to me.
indirectly broke her heart.
Still.
No,
Like-
broke her mind.
She was like, "Oh my, I so love this guy. He's so awesome. He's the lead singer of this band." Wait, no, you're the golden child.
Can you guys answer what she wants from him? I know we're supposed to like, but
I
like,
don't-
what do you think she wants to blackmail him for?
I think
I'm confused.
I think she's probably gonna like try to be in his band somehow, or try to get like a song from him or something like that. It's gotta be something music related.
Really?
No, what's gonna happen? She's gonna like, you know what? We got a date now.
No.
Wow. Okay. Teaser.
No.
Only black haired version.
No.
Only the black-haired version.
Only the black haired
Only
version.
Dante.
Like,
Brandon. Dante.
Brandon
Where is
does-
that?
Oh my god.
Dude, this is like Vegeta realizing Broly in the abridged like Broly movie all over again. Like he's so cool, but he's so dumb.
Yes.
Oh
But
no.
he's but they're so basic.
It's like, wait. She just like it was at that moment she realized she was just like Cindy.
Yep.
Oh, turtly. That's funny.
Like, why are you gonna be like that to Cindy when you are also that basic? Like,
No,
come
see,
on,
she didn't
Cars.
know at the time though. That's the thing.
Yeah, I know, but now next time you see Cindy, you better give her an apology.
Oh my.
This will be remembered, Karen. Give her an apology.
Or else.
You don't have to
Even-
say why. Just be like, Cindy, I'm sorry. And she's like, why? And be like, just cause. Brush it off. Cindy won't care. She's gonna start talking anyway. Don't worry about it. Just apologize to her.
Even if he didn't turn out to be the same two people at once, Brandon and Dante, she still more or less acts the same way towards Dante that Cindy acts towards Brandon, and
Right.
she still talks. It's not-
No. See, it's cool when it's someone that's cool to gaga over.
mm.
And see,
Well,
that's part of the
her.
duality I was talking about. I was just like being kind of hypocritical, Karen. It's not fair.
No. See, she didn't like Cindy being gaga over someone that doesn't deserve it. Dante deserves it. That's why it's okay, don't you know?
The
That's
rock
why
star.
it's being a hypocrite, don't you know?
Is it though? Is
Yes.
it really?
Yeah,
It's not the being in love that she didn't like. It was who she was doing that to.
right. But
Well,
I'm
it's-
sure
'cause
Cindy
he's-
would feel the same way if you would tell her about it.
She didn't. It's like, hey, of course you like him. He's perfect. And then
Dude,
it's like,
Cindy would actually probably be like, dude, less competition for me. Heck yeah. Support Karen all the way with Dante.
Of course, you have a chance with him. You're also perfect. Everyone in this dang on school, other than Camera Boy, is perfect. Y'all have money.
Stanley.
Y'all have looks. Y'all
Except
perfect.
Stanley.
I mean, who knows? We don't know his background. What if he's actually rich too?
Oh
He's
no,
just
I
mad.
bet you he is.
He might be.
rich.
It's just he doesn't have the confidence, so he's
Yeah.
not perfect. He's flawed. Back to.
But yeah, the blackmailing caught me off guard just because like she's thinking through the entire concert not about that. She's just like, oh, but he can't be, but he is, but he can't be, but he is, and like I can't like him, but I do, but I don't, but I do, and like then she's like, okay, it's time to blackmail this guy, but she doesn't give me a reason to understand why, and it's kind of the point where like you did say, Tiza, it came out of left field, but it came so out of left field for me that I was just confused about everything from that point on.
To be fair, she didn't say anything about blackmailing him until he threatened her first.
Yeah.
Yes, but like also, which like that shock face and then her just laughing at him.
Wait,
But, like-
you call that a threat? All
Like,
right.
is that how threats work for you, bruh?
No, it's like, yeah, I thought it was at that moment. She was like, you know what? You're not as cool as I thought you were.
I mean,
Oh.
it is Brandon after all.
I kind of really wish that he wouldn't even let himself be blackmailed, like, because you know he's gonna. But
No,
like
you
I
don't.
kind of, dude.
I mean, he doesn't have a choice.
What's what happened? Oh my god, my everyone's gonna know I'm rich.
Which
No.
I mean, but which again, I was bringing it up earlier. Like, I don't understand. Like, what's the big problem if people just know that he's the same guy? But obviously, something is stopping him from wanting people to know that. So,
What the crap could she want from him? Like,
That's my issue.
she doesn't give a crap about anyone at that school, right? So she's
Right.
not gonna try to like, hey, try to make me be friends with me, make me popular, right?
She's not gonna be like, date me so that we can break all these people's hearts. I don't think, because that'd just be weird. Like
it wouldn't fit her.
it's like, plus she doesn't need him to ward off other guys. She can do that well on her own.
She can
Well,
do that
Stanley
with Stanley.
anyway.
I'm about to say she
Right.
can do that with Stanley.
Jimmy.
And we
You
don't
know
have
the
anybody
thing is-
else like that, so that's bothering her. So
You know what I love about this, dude?
Hmm.
It was until the blackmail part. I was like, okay, that's that. She knows that he's that guy. Now something's gonna happen. She's gonna be conflicted about her emotions. She's gonna be conflicted emotionally conflicted. Either way, she's gonna be conflicted, and then etc. They're gonna fall in love and end up together. Whatever. I was not expecting the blackmail one. Once the blackmail one happened, it was like, now we just have these questions like, what the crap is going to happen?
Wait, are you saying you have a reason to go on?
Yeah,
I'm not
that's-
saying
that
that
was
was a reason to go on. It's a great reason to go on. It's just so
It is.
confusing that it's boggled me to where I just don't know what.
That's
to
what I
do.
like about it.
I know,
It's like,
that was-
that's
that
how
was
you.
gonna be my
That's
next
good
point.
writing in my opinion.
Oh
was gonna
my
be my next
gosh,
point.
look at that.
It was a good. It was a good way to end it.
Questions that aren't answered by the end. Look at that.
Oh my gosh. I would have been okay if they ended it at "Let me tell you how blackmail works, sweetheart." Because boy, what an end line that would be. But that's just me.
That would have been a little more kinky to end it there, though, because of how close she is to him.
Oh
Well,
Oh,
still,
shoot.
Let me tell you how blackmail works, sweetheart. Oh my.
oh, stop.
That's that Jotaro energy right there.
plus she's still
Mm.
close to him. It's just when you just get that full page. I do like that they did have that full page of her at the end, but I liked the line from the page before it better.
All right. It's time to drop back into the dead of night. So, we're going to tell you all to buckle yourselves in because we're going to go on a trip in our metal rocket ship. Final thoughts, let's go.
Overall, I believe the start was a little slow for me. I can appreciate how it started off like the slice of life type thing. It started getting lower as soon as the "he's so hot" moment happened because that was very annoying to me. But it did get my attention later on, finding out that Perfect Boy is actually this band member, well, this band leader, and now she's interested. And it ended off really well because, you know, it ended off with her talking about how she's about to blackmail him, and I really want to know what the heck she's going to request. So overall, I enjoyed it. I'll continue going on.
Okay. MEL.
Overall, I'm confused. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I was really excited to see that the whole story would be about music, and I like some of the smaller details that they did that I have talked about before. The way they add in some of the like tones, the bubbles, the sparkles, the hair. The same face syndrome kind of bothers me a bit. Brandon could have been Dante, or Stanley could have been Dante, and I would have not been shocked. Just due to the fact of the same face thing. But overall, it is interesting enough that I hope that it will shock me in a way that I'm not expecting, so I definitely want to go on.
Tiza, what you got?
The serious opinion, as per usual. Honestly, considering this is the first series, I believe, that's in this, relatively normal setting, I kind of like going through it. Because honestly, even outside of webcomics, just with regular manga that I read, I rarely ever read things that fall into just completely normalcy. Like, the closest I really have is, much as I loathe to admit it, Kakegurui, but that's just because that can happen in real life. Not to the extent that them fools is crazy, but just, what takes place in it. But this is just completely straight up normal, no real fetish angles or anything like that. So I like going through it. It's kind of like the world that we can't really interact with regularly now. That may have something to do with it. But this angle of, this nice chick who's actually a metalhead, but for whatever reason doesn't tell people about it, even though it doesn't seem like she should care what they think or not. But hey, that's okay. And then we have the prissy boy, who's actually her interest. And it's all like, yo, mind-blowing. And then the first thing she does with that information, you gonna do something for me, boy. I got to see how this goes. Let's go to that chapter 2, dog. Because that was funny as heck for me.
Jessica, Howard, if you're watching this, you know how to write characters. And I really like the way you write your characters. From from Stanley to Karen to Cindy and even Brandon. I like them. Like, that's what I like the most about this chapter so far. Different characters definitely seem just like real, I guess. Cindy is a bit of a trope, but I'm okay with that. Even Stanley, he's a little low on the confidence spectrum. And Karen, she's the I'm too cool for school, too cool for these people type of person. But it all works, and I really like how the chapter ended. It makes you want to go on to the next one, at the very least, to see what happens. Because I don't know what she will want from this guy.
None of us do.
And that's the main selling point for me right now. What does she want?
I hope it's something really good. Something that we didn't think of, but that, like, validates her blackmailing him. I really hope.
We'll find out, I guess.
That's what I'm afraid of.
That's really what I'm worried about, is that it won't live up to the hype.
Yeah, if it don't live up to the hype, I'm checking out at chapter 2.
I'm gonna be really sad, because I want this to be really good. Like, I want this to work.
Oh no, this feels familiar. We're back in the Ninth Circle. Please disembark into the fiery pits of wherever the heck we are right now, but make sure you clean up your trash on the way out.
Alright. Y'all can go. Attention passengers. This is your Captain Necro-sama speaking. Dude with the mask. This has been another episode of Top Flight Reads. Again, this week we read Love Metal by Jessica Howard. In the description below, you'll find a link to where you can follow, support the artist, read this series. If you enjoyed the series, give it a shot. I liked it. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. Leave a comment if there's anything you agree with or disagree with about us. What do you What do you think she's gonna try to get out of him with this blackmail? Tell me what you think in the comments below. I'll see you all next week. Say goodbye to the people, flight attendants.
We'll see y'all next time. If anybody guesses right, congratulations.
Hit me up. Say goodbye to the people.
People, I hope you have a wonderful day.
What was the snack of the day?
The snack of the day was cookies shaped like guitars.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shaped like guitars?
Yeah, that's in the video. Hope you enjoyed the video. Leave a like. We got more videos like this in the playlist. Check it out. Subscribe if you want to see more. If there's a series you want us to read, drop a comment below. Again, the question of the day was, what will Karen get from Dante Brandon? Blackmail.
Brandon.
Brante?
Brandon. All right. I'll see y'all next week.